We're starting. Da, 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 da. Okay. 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 Da, da, da. Wait, no. Is Combine that? I think it should be. Okay. Combined. Okay. Now I can finally use the combined one, which took forever. Okay. 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 So yeah, I could do you one better. Here's a comment video. I know it's been made by Keith forgetting to do this, but yeah, here's a comment video. Yeah. So yeah. Here you go. Yeah. Go. Okay. Okay, here you go. Actually. Ooh. Um. Okay. 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 Nice. TikTok comments. TikTok comment. TikTok. There it is. But, but, oh, just been 10 minutes. So, one, this is going to be a lot more of a longer end version of it. But not only am I going to give you my favorite, I would like to talk about why I would put certain people over others because there is a reason. So at the bottom, and I am putting it this way because I think it's more interesting, I would put Peter Capaldi because just before we let you know, if any of you watched the original Doctor Who before Disney, before the original Marvel that started in like the 90s, I think. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I have only watched it. I've only watched episodes, and I have watched a couple of them, so I do know some of it. And I am like, if it comes up, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's from one of the old ones, and I do know a couple of the newer ones, especially in this era. And I feel like there was one in Matt Smith with like this like Mars being that was in the sort of Matt Smith. Besides one, I've only watched since then, so that's where I am. So I didn't like Peter Capaldi. I knew he was meant to be a grumpier version, but because it was the grumpier version and I didn't thought it did just as good, that's why I don't really think he was good. I just, compared to the other doctors, yeah, he's just grumpy and annoyed. And there are some stuff I like. I like the idea of him being philosophy and all of the cast being like having this philosophy nature to it. And I do like that idea. Him being like thinking through decisions and this and that. I do like that, and I do think that's an interesting idea with the character. That sort of like having questions. I think they talk about like how time works as a theoretical concept of like moving images, and we only represent time because we're moving through the images, which is really fun. And then the other one, which was the Bootstrap paradox, but mostly I'm not a big fan. Above it, I would put Jodie Whittaker, but Jodie Whittaker I think did an amazing performance, and I love her as a performance. I just don't think, like other people, I think the scripts were a bit too ham-fisted, which negatively impact. I still think it's at really good, and I wouldn't say it's bad. I just think the story scripts were a bit too into it. Above it, I think is Christopher Eccleston. I do love that Doctor, but this is more. It is a good Doctor, but because I've got more of the others, I just felt like it wasn't enough. I would have preferred more, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just I'm just sad it's only one season. Where if you look at all other Doctors, besides the current one, because he's still on his sort of thing, most Doctors get like 3 seasons, and Christopher Eccleston has only got 1 season, which is a bit. And also, I am just double checking with my phone just to make sure I pronounce the names correctly. Above that, I would put David Tennant because I liked his Doctor. I like after Christopher Eccleston, I do think they improved with the character. I do like how it carries on. You do still get the moments, but you slowly get the more whimsy side to it, which I think someone's comment on. I don't know who was. I think it was someone. I don't remember exactly who, but made a comment like sometimes. What is it? Maybe I don't know. I can't remember from my head, but like saying like some of the regeneration are taking from other people. I think it's Who Culture. Yeah, Who Culture, who said that theory, and I feel like yeah, that could work. That could be interesting. Maybe they're just taking some sort of ideas from one to the other, and I do find that like pretty interesting. And they're getting a bit more like playful, a little bit less serious. He does still have the serious moments, but he's a bit more like fun, human characteristics. So that's really interesting. Obviously, what was my number one, but now isn't, was Matt Smith because I have said this before. I'm gonna say it again. The first Doctor Who episode I ever watched was the 11th hour. I think I came across it on the TV. I was like, oh, this is really good. And then it's like, wait, there's another episode and another one. And then I carried on watching it, and then slowly but surely I found on history there was other doctors, and like, wait a second, this was the doctor. And I was like, oh wait, there's reincarnations, there's this. So I watched, I think one of the first episodes. I think it was just the first one that I really watched. That wasn't the Matt Smith one. Was the the David Tennant? What's the episode? What's the episode? What's the episode? It's like the one in New York where they're building the tower, and Andrew Garfield's in the episode, and it's about building the tower and trying to make this tower. And then there's Daleks. It's a two-parter, and they're trying to revive people and turn people into pigs. But that was the first time that I'm like, oh, reincarnation. And I saw the previous two reincarnation, which because at a certain point I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go back and watch it. I think that's roundabout near the end because I was basically watching the episodes when they sort of came out, maybe like 1 or 2 days off, but like when they came out at school for like the whole of Matt Smith's run. Um, and I try and do that now, but I don't because I think again I liked how Matt Smith had this whimsy, had this fun nature. I didn't know what he was going to say. And it was like this sort of like, huh. And like he would say odd lines and then he would do odd things. And like, I like that. And I do like that sort of characteristics. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and watch the rest because I found it interesting. And I loved the evolution of it, which is why I put Christopher Eccleston so low because I like the idea of him constantly changing, constantly trying to improve. But then you have uh, Peter Capaldi, is it? Yeah, Capaldi, who went from positive to again, which again probably makes sense for the actor. He has that sort of like thing, and is each person regeneration has a different way of playing it, which I still think is interesting. But I do think this is really, really interesting. Anyway, that's where I came from. I originally watched Matt Smith, and the original list would have been Matt Smith, David Tennant, and Trudy Gatwick. Then when the next one came out, I would have put Peter Capaldi at the bottom, and then putting Jodie Whittaker between Peter Capaldi and Christopher Eccleston. But recently, we've all know there's been a new Doctor. And technically, I could be like, there was another new Doctor, another David Tennant. But the David Tennant still plays it like he sort of did in the other one. Sort of that sort of mindset. A little bit more serious than he might have done. So I'm not really gonna consider them two separate ones because it is still somewhat how he would have played it in a way. So yeah, and then recently, we've got a new doctor, obviously, the marketing, which is Shutwi Gatwick. And even now, I still feel like I always mispronounce it. And that is now my favorite doctor. Originally, it was Matt Smith, but I'm like, oh, no, nothing can beat Matt Smith because I've got like these rose tinted glasses and I'm not really going to be able to take them off because I like him that much. He's really good. But when I watch him in some of the episodes, I absolutely like it. He still has that sort of like sort of whimsy nature with a more like emotional, being able to be like I can be emotional, I can have emotions, which I love, alongside that sort of like oh this, oh that, and thinking. And I feel like the reason why he might be fearful for the things he is makes sense. And him as a character, I just absolutely love. He is again. For the long time I was like, oh no, no one's gonna beat Matt Smith because I've got nostalgia glasses. He was my first Doctor, and I don't think I'm gonna get a second one. Matt Smith's gonna stay in second place for all of eternity, but I don't think no one's gonna beat Matt Smith in second place. But yeah, that's my favorite Doctor. So yeah, there's a long episode, but I just wanted to talk about why I put all of them that order, and I thought it would be opening discussion. Who's yours? Favorite doctor? Respect. Oh, this is long, but better get it 10 minutes. I'm like, ah. Like, I thought this was a good idea. Clearly not. Clearly not. Also, I don't think I renamed it, which is to annoy me. Okay. Okay. Dude, dude, okay. 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 Let me just. Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. 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 Let me just go up with and then move this here. Boom, 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 boom. I need a YouTube open. Oh, wait, don't need that one because I'm. Also doing the same problem again, and I'm just gonna do the same thing because I want the deaths. The last one. I always need to remember Monday. Yeah, when the next Monday is gonna be. Okay, TikTok comment, TikTok comment, TikTok comment, TikTok comment. Let me just try something. Accept and play. Why is it not loading? Jesus. Jeez Maurice. Jeez Louise Maurice. Great, it's none of them are loading, which is not helpful. So when I say download, download, for crying out loud. Now I have to re-edit. Okay. That'd be useful. Get myself out. Yeah, there's an image of Fort Park in the intro, which is so weird. Is there going to be another episode of Fort Park? Another challenge of Fort Park? That would be interesting. Episode 3 of season 18. 2 more seasons and we will get another episode of another episode of Champions of Champions. Into mad. Hashtag in this into okay. Okay. I just love that. It's like, should we start with you? No. It's like, what? Eat my soul. Why? Why? I don't want to see a Furby. It's a Furby. It's creepy as hell. It doesn't have soul. Where on earth does it have soul? It's like haunting my dreams. Ah. Lost. Another item that looks like it's possessed by a demon. That's a very creepy thing if it ever had its head. Damn. Oh, just bunch of shoes. Okay. Okay, this I can't continue to the next page if this doesn't get uploaded onto YouTube. Wait, really? I would put that below a saxophone. Yeah, good. Okay, that actually really cool. Okay. Okay, Alex. 哦，yeah, that's just hilarious. Jeez. 4%, 6%. Now it's 5%. Now it's loaded. Jeez Louise. Okay, right. Nine, two. One, two, five. Fave. Okay. 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 Okay, that's just hilarious. Jesus. Okay, I need to pause and then go on to here and just get the desk because I'm stupid. TikTok. 'Kay, bit more. Jeez. Yeah, da, da, da. If I do that, it doesn't mean I get rid of the whole thing. Oh. Five, 5, 7. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, did it? It'd be easier to transfer than do anything else. Just and then Okay, are you kidding me? Are you having a laugh? Okay. Don't need to worry. Let me just worry about. Is it Perry or Perry with an A? Don't need assessment nurse. Okay. Hello? Hi. I think you can go through delivery, as far as I'm aware. Do you want me to check? Just a sec. How do you spell it? Roo as in kangaroo. Yeah. Because I remember doing something about that. Uh, it says here you can have it. Wagamama Stains. Delivery in 35 minutes, and I put GU25 in, and that's this sort of district. Yeah, but 4RP is for like literally this, like the next two houses over. I can't do that unless I'm making an account, but as far as I can tell, I can. Okay. Okay, bye. Why am I trying to get into a sound? Why is everything like sound? No, no, I had a thing of it. Jesus. Now I have to delete this. Right? Why does my brain constantly like skip this, skip this, skip this, skip this? It's like my brain's just fighting itself with madness. And it's like skip, 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 skip. I could do without this. I could do without this. I know it's just not helping. I need to calm down and take a breath. Okay. Audio test. Audio essay test. And then you look at the people's faces like, oh shoot. Keep having a problem. $557. And why did I take a picture? I don't know. I'm clearly not sane at the current moment. So 2 commons, 2 Cuphead, 1 Plague Inc, and 2 Making This. So that's 7. 1, 2, 1, 7. I mean, just 2 sound-based ones, which is going to be a little bit annoying. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what? Okay, so let's go to. Okay, big Twitch, Plague Inc, play. Okay. Okay, we're going to take it to TikTok, lower the volume. uh, I don't know what it is, but apparently that is. Do you know what? That actually is surprisingly well done. Oh, okay, that actually looks really good. I'm also going to do this one because 553. I don't know. I'm gonna listen to 553. Also realizing I'm just gonna copy. I'll be down in a second. I'm still recording. Yeah. Oh shoot! I forgot that was a thing. I always forget that one. Actually, if I save it on here, I could just immediately just reload this page. And so let's save this page and just. Okay, so that's one. I wanted to. Okay, so I'll be back in a sec. That is good. That is good. I had to my first paycheck and I'm celebrating by having a wagon on it. Well, not my first paycheck, but my first paycheck for like big paycheck for like a big while. I haven't had anything. So that's exciting. Okay, that's okay. What? Takes Dragon Skull. Thanks for having the other one. I got jump scared. This is. So yeah, like a couple of these, I've got a couple of TikTok comments. There's going to be none of these technically, because all of these are 4 comments, 5 this, and 1 review. So this is going to be insane. But thank you, even though it's been long, thank you for giving me this information, helping me geography wise. So yeah, like a couple of these, I've got a couple of TikTok comments. There's going to be none of these technically. Thank you for the help. Thank you the help. Okay. 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 Oh, really? Okay, this is really interesting. Into the jungle. Okay, that looks like a fun series. Okay, I'm gonna quickly fast. Oh no, it's done. Okay. No. Okay. Paste. Okay. Okay. Great. I love it that this thinks that I am an idiot. Okay. Okay.
Gonna need a human skull, and I can't have you ask any questions. Only if you also don't ask why. What?
Okay. 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 Thank you. Why do I have to take a picture? Because who cares? So yeah, with this, I do agree. And originally, it had a sword with it that goes. You can see how it's holding something, so the sword's meant to sort of go down here. But realistically, I was like, I wanted to use this skull, but I know the sword always comes out, so I don't usually keep it with the skull. But the skull, besides the point, still looks the coolest. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you know this, but this is actually, if you look carefully, it's a candle. I don't know if you can use it. The wick's like pretty gone. You can still probably like put something on it, but I don't because it looks cool, and the only difference that you can tell is the top and the bottom. And these two skulls, I actually got in Newcastle, which this one looks really cool because like the goggles go into the gears into the head, including this one. You can tell really well. It looks really cool. It also feels really cool and really nice. Alongside this one, oh no, need to redo that because that wasn't enough. So yeah, I realized I might need to speed this up a bit because I tried recording it and I didn't have enough time. So I have this one. Usually have a sword, like you can tell with the hand, but because I constantly move it, I keep it to the side, and plus it still looks cool without it. This one's a candle. You can kind of tell with up and down. You can still use it, the wick sort of there, but I don't because I like keeping it as a skull and it looks kind of really Halloweeny. And I have a Halloween theme throughout the year. And then I also have this one, which legitimately I want this thing around the head as a piece, alongside this, which I both got from Newcastle, and now I can slow down a bit. I was like, and then I was like, I actually have some fun. These two are my favorite, ironically. I know you like prefer the person who's coming this prefer more of this one. And I do like this one. And I do agree, this is really cool. But I just like the steampunk. Definitely these sort of gears that go into the goggles, which are inside the head, as you can see. So yeah, I realized I might need to speed this up a bit because I tried recording it and I didn't have enough. Skull. Cold. No. And also it's done, but technically that's good because I've got a review soon, so that's actually good timing.
Okay, sure. Pulls out 7 prestige.
Okay, so let me just go on to photos so I can just get this all done. And then realistically with this, all I need is basically I'm going to do a little bit of massacre. Now let me just get not this one, but let me get also I love that I still have the blue up and both but also it's nearly near to Psych season 1, which I didn't realize until right now. Which that is fun. Okay, so let's go down to this one. Oh, is it no? It is a bit longer, so that would kind of actually make sense. Okay. So that's happening. So that's loading. Let me just get. Ooh. So yeah, okay, I can't do that because it's a sound in the way, sound in the way, sound in the way. So yeah, welcome to Standing on 1,000,000 Lives. Yeah, here we do that one. I'm going to stand here. So yeah. This is interesting because at first it shows like a group of people, and the one thing I like is one, it feels like, and I feel like it's slightly on purpose, like we have just been chucked into the middle of a story. The story started, and then we're just now here, which kind of is on purpose. If you know the context of the story, there was two other people doing the two other things near the beginning, and then the sort of main character sort of gets into the situation and jumps in, which is really interesting because like you can tell that these two have had something before because obviously, and when you slowly sort of like get used to like, oh, here's another person joining, here's another person joining, it just feels like it's going on that sort of like, oh, okay, and this person, and this person. And it's really interesting that way. Because at first, like, okay, what's this, what's that? And then it's like, as it goes on, it's sort of like, oh, okay, this is happening. And then this is happening. And then figuring it out with all of that stuff. Definitely, when you get, this is one of the things, you get more and more people added. And the same thing for like the first person joining happens, where everyone sort of starts on like this field, they get chucked in the water. So you get used to like, oh, there's our next player, which is like really interesting as an idea. So yeah. So yeah, one of the only things that I think is important to mention, there's only I think two, actually three. I love I keep adding more, but there's smaller and smaller moments from this, which I think is of note to this. Is one of them is when they sort of realize, because earlier, which obviously, as some stuff with anime goes, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this murdering because like, yeah, it's fine, be fair, who cares? like all of these people like have this sort of like mentality of like, oh, it's just a video game. Like I think because it makes sense. Like you literally get jumped into a new world. Magic exists, and you can clearly not die if at least one of your party is alive. So clearly, this is a video game because that's how sort of like video games work. Is like besides the fact that if your protagonist you're beefed anyway, that doesn't exist, which is interesting. It's a good idea. But like if like one person dies, revive is a thing, or like they just wait until the timer goes down. Which like oh yeah, video games logic. And then it's like oh no, these aren't NPCs. These are real people with like real lives and like real this and real that. And when like he figures it out, I was like, I like murdered a guy, which is like, oh, this is so, and like I get it because like he didn't know what he was doing, and then when it reveals with the other one, which I like, with one person like, oh, don't kill, yeah, it doesn't affect me, but because you killed before, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be a good person anymore. It's like I like that idea of like because if you went to any like morality, I would still be like, yeah, you thought this was just a video game. Like you were wrong, like really badly. But I do like that idea that is looked at in an interesting way. And I do think it's something that I love that they look into again. And the last one I love is the memories, which is a bit weird because like the whole thing about the memory one is like oh, she's not who she says she was, and she's actually older. But I love the idea that she made a fake person and the kid fall in love with her. Not because of kid and grown up, because that is wrong. But the idea of like, if someone acts nice enough and gives someone, like, they're gonna care. I don't know why. I just find that one weird because, like, that is kind of weird in context because, like, that's anime. But I like the idea of, like, sometimes you just need to be nice to people, not be dicks. I love it I say about like it's rocket science, and it was like, ah yes, I've discovered this source of a century. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an a-hole, and like people will care. But yeah, so yeah, I do think this is an interesting series, definitely because it keeps like changing and like having this nice flow to it. But it's like really nice and really enjoyable. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed and good night. But if you never leave. And just before I just keep adding that, I'm just gonna reload this. Because I've got this copy and I'm not gonna get rid of it. Just change my comment and then sound duet, which it was originally from. I am standing on a million lives. I'm standing on a million lives. Blue tie, hiding my name. Okay, so that puts that there. Oh, wait, what was that under? That didn't. Let's just go onto YouTube. I'm just gonna mute it so I don't get the sound. So I can actually get the. Great. Okay, so let's use history. Get rid of that one here. Because it is a short. Then go human. Oh. And I'm just gonna. Jeez. Human. Is it that? Is it that it? Just an S? Or is it the capital letter? Because if it's the capital letter, that is absolutely ridiculous. It's like, oh no, this is not the same. I'm gonna put a capital H. Oh. Let's try D&D. Because actually the hashtag. D&D. Broken man. Tristan doesn't want you try turning it on enough. Yes, I have. I think it's broken. Did you say you called me now? What is this blue hair, blue tie hiding in my damn it? Okay, I'm just gonna keep this on Miku. I want to see if what's on the Miku on TikTok while I have this checked out. I am so hungry. Time for McDonald's. Fourth time this week. Ready. Had to feed lemons. That's okay. Alive. This is just so weird. You got. Okay. I love that. Okay. Sound of TikTok. Du-du-du. Okay. Drama anime TV series. Right. Okay. 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 So yeah, I hope you enjoy and good night. This is over 2 hours, but yeah, good night.